fanatic and father of two, Darryl McDonough is the Chief Executive Partner of national law firm Clayton Utz. With a passion for the law and solving problems, he is here today to talk to us about leadership. Why did you decide to pursue a career in law?
I suppose it goes back to a very young age, that as a young person I had a determination to do one of two things, either to be a lawyer or to be a priest. And I tried that, the priest part of it, and that didn't work, so I thought, well, I best go and try being a lawyer.
And I guess a lot of your time now would be taken up with duties associated with being the CEO. What do you miss about practice?
I miss the transactions, I miss the interaction with clients. It's something I didn't realise that I would miss it so much, but it certainly is something that I do miss on a daily basis. But having said that, the reward that I get from doing this job is fantastic.
And speaking about rewards, what has been one of the most rewarding experiences of your whole career?
It's interesting you ask that question, because I would imagine a lot of people would expect me to say that it's a particular transaction or something of that nature. There are two matters that I've acted in which were extremely rewarding, and in both cases I received little or no remuneration for the matters. They were more in the nature of pro bono, and in fact probably before pro bono was even really thought of in Australia, where I was able to assist a couple of people who had some real problems ahead of them. I think one of the greatest things about being a lawyer is being able to solve problems and assist people, and particularly in those two instances people were in rather desperate straits, and I was able to bring to bear the experience that I had at that stage of the game as a corporate lawyer and to assist them out of a spot.
How important are people skills, not just in your lawyering but also in positions of senior leadership?
Stephanie, leadership is all about people. People and people skills. I can't put a definition around what people skills means, but I do know that in this business it is a people business. It's either the people that are working with us within the firm, the partners and the other employees, the lawyers and so forth, and our support staff, and then with your clients you're dealing with people as well too. So to me, people skills are absolutely paramount. As far as the skills are concerned, I think as a lawyer you've got to be very careful to make sure that when you sit around a boardroom table you don't look at everything as a lawyer would. You've got to look at it as a commercial person. Whilst you can bring to bear the legal skills, the decisions that are taken are commercial decisions. You need to be very careful that you divorce, as it were, your background as a lawyer.
And what's been your experience of work-life balance in the legal industry?
If you spoke to my wife of 36 years, she would say that I do not have a work-life balance. But the fact of the matter is, I think, let's be honest about it, if you're going to strive to be the very, very best, you have to make sacrifices. And sometimes that means that you're not able to be, at home at the hours that you might otherwise wish to be. I think in my case, whilst I've put in the hard yards as far as work is concerned, I've made sure that when I get the downtime that I actually do something, with my family, and that's been very important to me over the years. I think the problem is always just striking that right balance, and if you're going to strive to be at the very top of the profession, it's unfortunate that you do need to make some sacrifices, and that's the case, with athletes, for example. Athletes have got to train and do things like that they would much prefer probably to be sitting at home watching television.
What would you like to tell young lawyers who might like to follow in your footsteps?
Well, the first thing I'd say to them is don't. Carve out your own career. Whilst you can see somebody as a role model, don't do exactly what they've done. Learn from what they are able to impart to you, learn from their mistakes, and just do it a lot better. People who want to establish a career in the law, I think in this day and age, have a world of opportunity available to them. It's not just a matter of working in a law firm. You can work within companies and so forth. You can take your legal degree, go work in a law firm, go and work in a company, then move into the commercial side of the company or something of that nature. So I think the opportunities are enormous. I think there's two things. I spoke to a group of lawyers yesterday and I said there were two things that I think I owe my career to in one sense, and that is that first and foremost I developed a network of people, and I did that through, as I said yesterday, I'd go to the opening of a sardine tin if I thought I'd meet somebody. So that I'd go to breakfast, I'd go to lunch, I'd go to dinner to meet people, to get to know them, get to understand what was going on in the business community. And the second thing is working at building your profile. That is becoming acknowledged in an area of expertise within the law. And you can do that through a whole range of things, through publishing articles or writing books, which I did many, many years ago, so that you actually establish for yourself a career.
Would you say that leaders are born or made?
I don't know the answer to that question. I've often heard that they're born. I've never really considered myself as a leader. I've actually looked at things from the point of view of getting in and doing my job. I think that there can be a problem sometimes when people aspire to leadership when in reality they don't have the necessary qualities. I think there is probably a mixture. I think to an extent it might be inherent in their DNA from day one, but I think it also comes about from learning from your environment and from other people and mentors and things of that nature, that you actually modify and you change, and people are prepared to entrust you with the trappings of what I'll call the trappings of leadership. Like in my particular case, I'm in the position that I am because of the support of the partners, and as soon as if I lost that support, then I would no longer be a leader.